It's 5 a.m. in Hanoi. The city is not asleep, it is waking up. Let's see what happens on the streets before sunrise. Right next to where I start my journey is a public exercise area. Every day, many elderly people come here to exercise together. They move to the music, following the same familiar routines. This simple morning activity has become a beautiful part of life in Hanoi. Many elderly people in Hanoi wake up very early, around empat. They usually play music during their morning exercises, but I turned off the audio to avoid copyright problems. Unlike older people, most young people like us usually wake up much later. Because of this, younger people often choose to exercise after work in the late afternoon or evening. Two different ages, two different ways of starting the day. Together, these different lifestyles create a vibrant and colorful image of Hanoi. In general, many elderly people in Hanoi wake up very early, around 3 to 4 a.m. Some go out for breakfast. Some go exercising, while others simply stay at home and enjoy a quiet morning. At this early hour, Hanoi feels peaceful and gentle, but life is already quietly moving. Join me as we continue exploring Hanoi. Unlike winter, the sun rises much earlier in summer. You can see that on almost every street, most people are still sleeping. This is one of the apartment areas nearby. It's already bright outside, yet most people are still deep in their sleep. Only the peaceful sound of birds and a small group of elderly people exercising can be heard in this quiet morning. Not all older people can keep up with this level of activity. No matter the season, winter or summer, they keep their daily exercise routine consistently. 5 a.m. is probably the most peaceful time of the day. So I take the chance to enjoy it as well. At 33, no job, no friends. Am I considered a failure? It's not that I haven't made an effort, but due to my health, I'm not able to work at a high intensity. That's why I mainly do simple online work. And my income is only enough to cover my basic living costs. But I don't really see that as important because my needs in life are very simple. I just live with whatever I have. But since I had a child 3 years ago, everything has changed. It's no longer about earning just for myself. It's about my family and my little child, who is still so young and needs care. Even though life is harder and busier, I still won't compromise my morals just to make money. In the end, raising a child only adds a small extra cost. I'm not sure whether life will become more difficult or require more in the future. But I haven't worried too much about that. I still believe that somehow everything in life will work itself out. Wow, it's about 6 a.m. now. The city is still not fully awake. But the people exercising here don't seem ready to go home yet. From what I've observed, most people who exercise early in the morning like this tend to be well-educated, financially stable, and very disciplined. This is a wealthy neighborhood filled with large and beautiful villas. The lights are still on. By the evening, this area is likely filled with children, rather than the elderly who come here in the morning. Most of the shops are still closed at this hour. Most of the stores here don't open until around 8 in the morning. The only ones awake this early are a few street food sellers on the sidewalks. They're usually the earliest to start their day. They're also the last to sleep, as they spend the night preparing food for the early morning customers. Even after 9 a.m., the main sound here is still birds singing, not traffic. This is a typical roadside breakfast seller you can find in Hanoi. I'm going to stop here and have my breakfast for about $0.5. Everything here is around $0.5 per item. There are many types of sticky rice, as well as steamed buns, sweet potatoes, boiled eggs, and drinks. Most of these foods are home edits, really hard to believe. Today, they have a special item here called black sticky rice. It's a traditional dish made from rice and fermented rice wine. Today is the 5th day of the 5th lunar month, which in our culture is known as the pest killing day. People believe it helps ward off bad things, so they often buy fruits and eat this traditional dish. I've loved this dish since I was a child, but unfortunately, it's only sold on this one day of the year. It's already 7 a.m. now. I'm going to take you to a high-end apartment area in Hanoi. The main roads are still not too crowded. It usually doesn't get busy until after 7:30. A number of students who study here have already returned to their hometowns for the summer holidays. This is one of Hanoi's biggest and most modern urban apartment areas. The morning here feels just like any other place in Hanoi Quai, peaceful and fresh. Sometimes I ask myself whether I want to live in a place like this or in the peaceful countryside. As a young person, I do enjoy the city life, but the cost of living is too high. So I end up living in my hometown in the countryside. Luckily, life in the countryside has become much more modern and comfortable. Many young people, like me, are now happy to go back to their hometowns to work and build a life there. No matter what situation we're in, I hope we can always stay positive and find happiness in our lives. Thanks for staying with me until the end. Much love to you all.